For some, blindfolding and a little spanking are super kinky, while others see it as just foreplay, only really getting excited when the ball gag and leather paddles come out. But what if sexual fetishes take a dark turn? For some people, fetish can turn into an obsession, known as paraphilia or paraphilic disorder. Those with a paraphilic disorder often have intense, persistent sexual fantasies involving another person's psychological distress, injury, or even unaliving in some cases. These sexual deviances are more common in males and include behaviors like exhibitionism, voyeurism, and friteurism. While fetishism undeniably has a dark side, some individuals are excited by much more than whips and chains. So what are they? Let's talk about it. Hybristophilia. If you're taking someone out on a date and you want there to be some physical contact, take them to a theme park or a scary movie. It'll get the adrenaline and endorphins pumping, and they'll likely stay close to you when scared. This is an example of a healthy way to use your body's chemistry to aid feelings. Then we have those with hybristophilia. These individuals have taken their desires to be rebels to the ultimate extreme. These individuals are sexually attracted to criminals, criminal activity, or anything remotely illegal. One of the most popular examples still to this day is the women who are attracted to Ted Bundy. He had, allegedly, received hundreds of love letters from women while in jail, met, proposed, and married one, and allegedly was the father of her child. Hybristophilia cases are the classic, I can fix him. No, really, I can. Story. Think Joker and Harley. One becomes attracted to the other out of pure adrenaline and newness, and once they get to know one another, that's when the desire to fix them kicks in and is intertwined with the feelings, and that's where things get dangerous. Remember, your person will never willingly put you in danger. They will always want you to be safe. Friteurism. Imagine you're on a bus. Every seat is taken and there are even passengers standing in the aisles. You are one of the standing passengers. When a new passenger boards, everyone adjusts to make space for them. However, for someone with friteurism, instead of making space, they may purposely bump into and rub against the other standing passengers in a seemingly casual way. This can be friteurism, or more commonly known as groping. This is when an individual gets sexual arousal or pleasure from rubbing up against or touching another individual with the intent of arousal. Of course, this behavior is not only socially unacceptable without consent from all parties, but it is also considered sexual assault. This sexual fetish may be developed from childhood trauma, specifically from the lack of physical affection from the caregiver or exposure to sexual material at a young age. Somnophilia. Does anyone remember that scene in Twilight where Edward breaks into Bella's room just to stare at her while she sleeps? Someone diagnosed with somnophilia gets aroused by having sex with someone or sexually touching someone who's asleep, but unless done in a prior conversation, consent can't be given in these moments. The Journal of Sleep Disorders and Therapy provided some potential reasons for individuals developing somnophilia, and it includes feeling little to no control in their own lives, having unresolved issues with dominance, vulnerability, or a response to childhood trauma. Observing or interacting with someone who's unconscious means they can't protest or reject, giving the pursuer a false sense of control and power. Please know that it is not okay if someone touches or watches you in a sexual manner while unconscious, unless all parties have consented while conscious. If you or someone you know has had a similar experience without giving consent, please discuss this with trusted loved ones, medical mental health professionals, or any other trusted authority. Necrophilia. What if someone's fear of rejection is so intense that they become drawn to something or someone that isn't alive? Necrophilic being attracted to a corpse stems from the idea of having a partner or object that won't resist or reject them. Ellis, 1903, in his book Studies of the Psychology of Sex, suggested that necrophilia and agolagnia, sexual pleasure from pain, are connected. Both involve turning negative feelings like anxiety, fear, and disgust into arousal and desire. However, the dead cannot give consent, and sexual pleasure from a dead body is generally regarded as a deep form of disrespect. So what other factors lead them to such attraction? The research also suggests that some people engage in necrophilia because they're trying to reconnect with a past lover or partner who's no longer around. The appeal is often in being with someone who won't reject or object, which feels safer. For some, merely seeing a corpse can be sexually arousing. It's a way to combat loneliness, seek comfort, and have control over someone who can't resist. Besides these main motives, there are less common ones, such as fear of the opposite gender, experiencing command hallucinations, or a desire for complete control. Eric Fromm suggests that necrophilia may stem from an individual's attempt to compensate for a lack of self-identity and authenticity. In short, if you or someone you know is dealing with these kinds of issues, it's really important to talk to a mental health professional. They can help work through these feelings and find healthier ways to cope with rejection, loneliness, and control issues. Autoerotic asphyxiation. Autoerotic asphyxiation is when people try to boost sexual pleasure by restricting airflow to the brain, usually through choking or strangulation. This can lead to a euphoric high or intense arousal. Some people try this during masturbation using ropes, cords, or plastic bags, hoping to heighten their experience. But it's incredibly dangerous and can quickly lead to unconsciousness, suffocation, or even unaliving. A famous case is the 2009 death of David Carradine. Known for his role in Quentin Tarantino's Kill Bill Volume 2, he was found dead in his Bangkok hotel room, initially suspected to be a suicide. However, two pathologists later determined it was accidental. It was revealed by his former wives that he had a history of self-bondage, another risky fetish. Even with a partner, sexual asphyxiation is seen as one of the riskiest kinks in the BDSM community. It carries serious dangers, including the risk of death or permanent injury, even if everything seems to be done right. We're not here to judge anyone's fetishes or preferences. If you have had an honest and open conversation with your romantic partners about your fetishes, you rock on with your bad selves. If you believe you or a loved one are suffering from a dark sexual fetish, please talk to a medical mental health professional. Do you want more videos about the psychology of sexual fetishes? What are your thoughts on them? Let us know in the comments below. And don't forget to subscribe. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next one.